and welcome to this video about Lancaster Languages lockdown lessons. At the beginning of the COVID-19 lockdown, despite the fact that we are offering online lessons, most of our language students cancelled their courses. However, I am happy to report that I've found a new group of learners, albeit in a very unusual setting. As we live on the edge of the town, we, like many other people, have been going for walks along local country roads during lockdown. It was here that I came across this new group of learners, a marginalised group, I realised, who, as far as I know, no one has ever previously considered teaching, perhaps because they are a somewhat transient population. Indeed, they have sadly now moved on to pastures new. So basically all the work that we did was oral work, just speaking and listening. But as you'll see from the video, they were most impressive, both in their comprehension and in their knowledge of vocabulary in 4 different languages. So let's have a look at the video now. Hello! Because of the social distancing rules, I obviously have to stay on this side of the wall while the learners are here. So, good afternoon. Lovely to see you all again. So we're going to do a short question and answer session focusing on listening comprehension, vocabulary recall and pronunciation. Let's start with a couple of English questions and then we'll go on to some other languages as well that I know you like. So question 1, are you listening? Can you remember the name we give to the leader of the local council? The mayor! That's right! Well done! And don't all shout out at once, please. That's great. Okay, then question 2. Now we even have a visual aid for this one. What do we call a female horse? A mare! Excellent! Oh, you do seem a bit excitable today. Can we just calm down a bit? And we'll move on to French, okay? Ça va? Oui? Français alors. Question numéro 3. What is the French word for mother? Mère! Super! Fantastique! Most of you are still missing the final R, mère, at the end of the word, but I suspect your vocal organs may limit you a little there, so never mind. Anyway, next question. Question numéro 4. What is the French word for the sea? La mer! Voilà! Excellent! Again, you're missing the final R, but it's not that serious because I don't think anyone will misunderstand you. So how about some German now? Ja, wir mögen gern Deutsch reden, wa? Wir sind ja hier auf Land und da können wir auch ein bisschen platt schnacken, ne? Ja, also, Frage Nummer 5. What is the German word for more? Mehr! Richtig! What good memories you have! Und Frage Nummer 6. What is the German word for the ocean? Meer! Ja, prima! Ganz tolle Aussprache auch. Some of you even slipped in a little diphthong there, didn't you? Meer! Brilliant! Now, you seem a little restless, so for the last question, let's move straight on to the Norwegian. Not a language that is particularly popular, but those who do learn it just love it. As do these. Ja, nu fortsetter vi med norsk. Ja. Spørsmål nummer 7. How do we say more in Norwegian? Mer! Uff! Herregud! Jeg synes det er kjempeartig at dere har blitt så flinke i norsk. Herregud! Helt utrolig. Just a couple of points though to remember. It's only mer with uncountable nouns like grass or brown cheese. With countable nouns like, say, lambs, for example, it would be flere. Okay. And another point is that the final R is an alveolar R in most of Norway, R, except in the Bergen region, where it's a uvular R. R. Yeah, okay, that's maybe a bit too much information. Right, I think we'll leave it there. Well done. I'm proud of you. You have been a joy to teach. Well, I hope you enjoyed watching that footage. I couldn't discuss this with you in front of them, but I thought you might be interested to know that the mothers actually asked me if I would teach them too. So we had a go, and it was interesting, but it didn't really work for various reasons. Firstly, they were just not as motivated as the lambs. Secondly, they didn't like it at all when I asked them questions about themselves, like, what do you like to eat, or what do you do in the evenings? I always got a really negative response from them, and I couldn't fathom out why that was initially, but eventually I realised that when I said you, they thought I was saying you, E-W-E, as in a female sheep, and they took great exception to that. Now I have to say, it had not occurred to me that that might be a sensitivity, but clearly it was. So a learning point there for me. But even when we'd sorted all that out, they still just struggled to engage with the lessons. With them being adults, I tried to negotiate what topics we might cover, what they perceived their language needs to be. But they were really not very forthcoming. So then I suggested we could maybe arrange some field trips. But when I asked them where they'd like to go to, all they ever said in reply was bar. And that wasn't really the kind of thing I had in mind. I was thinking more of maybe a farm visit or something like that. I mean, it's just not practical to take a load of sheep to a bar, is it? And as we're still in lockdown anyway, all the bars are closed. Anyway, I mean, now of course they've moved on. I think it was worth exploring the possibility of teaching the sheep, but sometimes you just have to be realistic and accept that older learners can be a little bit entrenched in their attitudes, and then that can mean that the social conditions are just not conducive to language learning. On the other hand, the lambs, I think you have to admit that they were absolutely amazing, weren't they?